In 2016, 79-year-old Brian Hilton was discovered dead inside his Ōpōtiki home. The circumstances pointed to a violent end, and police quickly classified the case as suspicious. Their investigation led them to Harry Matchitt, a 49-year-old Mongrel Mob member of the East Coast chapter. Following their investigation in 2018, police arrested Matchitt and charged him with Hilton's murder. The Crown's case was built on three key strands of evidence: a partial DNA profile that police said linked Matchitt to the scene, unclear CCTV footage that appeared to show him in the area on the night of Hilton's death, and a series of police interviews in which he made confused and inconsistent statements. At times he seemed to admit involvement, but at other moments, he denied memory of events, and expressed doubt about what had actually happened. The case went before the High Court in Tauranga in 2021, where Matchitt was charged with murder. After hearing the evidence, the jury acquitted him of murder. However, they did find him guilty of manslaughter, reasoning that while he might not have meant to kill Hilton, he was still responsible for his death. He was sentenced to 7 years and 9 months in prison, with a requirement to serve at least half before becoming eligible for parole. Matchitt appealed his conviction, arguing that the police interviews should never have been used as evidence because they were unreliable. His lawyers presented expert evidence that he suffered from memory distrust syndrome, a condition where a person begins to doubt their own memory and becomes vulnerable to suggestions. They argued that after lengthy and stressful interviews filled with leading questions, Matchitt's confused statements were more a reflection of this condition than genuine admissions of guilt. In 2023, the Court of Appeal agreed. It found that the interview evidence should not have been admitted at trial, and because those interviews had formed a major part of the Crown's case, the conviction was unsafe. The manslaughter conviction was quashed, and a retrial was ordered. When the case returned to the High Court, the Crown faced a different reality. Without the interviews, their case relied only on the partial DNA profile and the CCTV footage. Neither of these was strong enough on its own to prove guilt beyond reasonable doubt. With the heart of the case removed, the Crown accepted it could not proceed, and the charges were dismissed. After years of legal battles, Matchitt walked free. What had begun as a murder charge, and briefly resulted in a manslaughter conviction, ended with the case collapsing altogether. The saga highlighted deeper issues in the justice system, particularly the risks of relying on confessions obtained under pressure and the importance of understanding how memory and suggestibility can affect vulnerable defendants. Now in 2025, Harry Matchitt has turned the tables on the justice system, launching a legal battle to claim $600,000 in compensation for the years he spent behind bars. He argues that his wrongful conviction was the direct result of flawed and coercive police questioning, which forced him into giving unreliable statements. While police insist that their interviews were conducted properly, they have acknowledged the concerns raised by experts over the final and highly pressured interrogation. Meanwhile, the brutal death of Brian Hilton remains an open mystery, leaving more questions than answers.